You're still watching The Fourth Estate on NTV, and tonight we're hosting 3 leaders from the National Resistance Movement. They've held, in the last 1 week alone, 2 meetings with the party chairman to discuss issues within their party, because the youth wing has come off as the most divided in a contest between President Yoweri Museveni and Amama Mbabazi on who carries the party flag in 2016. In February, the leadership of the NRM in Parliament, the NRM Parliamentary Caucus, passed a resolution endorsing President Museveni as a sole candidate in 2016. The caucus and the party paid 4 million shillings per sub-county to each of its members of parliament to popularize that resolution. The question tonight is, where are policy issues? How are the youth, who constitute 78% of this population, putting their party to account to find jobs, to find better working conditions, to find, to stimulate the work environment to enable them live a better life? Mr. Namara, as a party chairman, representing the youth, you're lucky you have a job as a presidential advisor. You're also a businessman, I understand. Youth, when you see Uganda's young people, vibrant, energetic, walking the streets every day or wasting away in betting houses, and you go into a meeting with your chairman to discuss his candidature for 2016 for another 5 years in office, yet he has been in power for the last 29 years, where are you living? The majority of the young people of this country.
Charles, I think I should answer you, because number one, there's a perception, which is not true, that the Kyankwanzi resolution is only the sole candidature position. There are 22 resolutions from Kyankwanzi, and these members of parliament were given facilitation to take to the people all these resolutions. The sole candidature is just one of them, but there are very many concerning almost each and every government department.
Mr.
What
Namara,
the position of the NRM is concerned.
Viewers, if you can't
I'm being honest. I'm being very honest with that.
If you can't be honest with your party supporters,
Charles,
with the youth who elected you to represent them in the Central Executive Committee of the NRM, at least be honest with our viewers. I have watched, and anybody who has bothered to even attend your meetings on these consultations, the main thing is to raise your hand and say, I endorse the Kyankwanzi resolution. It's not about the delivery.
That is one of them.
It's not the delivery of health services. It's not jobs. Actually, the question that hasn't been discussed at all is whether the young people of this country can have jobs.
Charles, I think I don't agree with you when you say that we should be open. Because if you have been able to attend, I'm sure you have not attended. Maybe what you have done is you, the media, you pick the news that you think are very important to the listeners, and that is the sole candidature.
I'm surprised how we are able to pick that information without being there.
I have been there myself with the Honorable Nabanja in Chivali. The reason why I was there was to talk about the issue of unemployment. What is government doing concerning the young people? That was one of them. The sole candidature was the second one. And so many other issues that concern the economic stability of the country. For example, what is the position of the NRM concerning infrastructure, concerning health, concerning education? All these issues were discussed. And maybe take you back, a little bit back to what you're talking about. Most of these issues that are discussed within NRM are party issues. And under our constitution of NRM, there are some issues that you have to discuss in camera, which cannot be brought in public. And once as a party, we have got a position on that issue, then it comes to the public. That's why you saw that in the Kyankwanzi, they had to go and discuss about those 22 resolutions. And you see caucus being one of the organs of the NRM. They have the mandate, they have the powers to make a resolution. But that resolution will be tabled to the appropriate organs of the party. And that's what is happening.
What was your discussion with... Yes, Chris.
Let me not... see, Dennis, it's good you lead young people. And by the way, I also pay you because you're a presidential advisor. But the money you get is not from Museveni's family.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
It is from our coffers.
Thank you.
So you ought first respect us.
Which I do.
Which unfortunately sometimes you miss, because you think the money you earn is from State House.
Which I do.
It is from those poor mothers who buy soap and pay a tax and then you eat it. It looks to me, Charles, there is very limited understanding among the youth of what NRM is. It seems people who understand NRM, the elderly people of NRM, still maintain an intellectual understanding of NRM than you, the young people. Either because, one, you are following individuals who are unable to let you understand NRM, or you are mainly motivated by not the ideals of the NRM, but what you can do to NRM to get what benefits you. That's what I call self-seeking. If you are beginning to tell us that in Kyankwanzi there were more resolutions, Right. Those resolutions in Chankwazi were not the resolutions from the National Youth Council, were they?
Of course not. It was not.
Those resolutions were not resolutions from the NRM Youth League, were they? Where are the resolutions from the NRM Youth League about the socio-economic conditions in this country?
I think I should...
Hold on. This is what I'm saying. We are finding you intellectually lacking because you are not interrogating the issues from the youth perspective. You are waiting for the parliamentarians to see it, resolve, then you say, we back that. Yet we thought the youth are the backbone of intellectual curiosity and should be challenging everything. That look, this is the paradigm we think can help this country. What did you do? To wait to be given money to go and popularize a project. Either Mbabazi project or Museveni project. And we are saying that's wrong. You are entitled to support either Museveni or Mbabazi. But as a youth with a brain and a lawyer like you should be able to say, we have looked at the intellectual disposure of Museveni, the intellectual disposure of Mbabazi, the policy inclination of Museveni and Mbabazi. We think Mbabazi should now contest to be party chairman and the presidential candidate because then, because of his policy orientation, we think the youth will gain in this way. What are you saying? For us, we resolved in Chankwasi, there's only one man. Charles. Have you told us why Museveni should continue? This is what I want to hear from you. Okay. Now for you,
give them an opportunity to respond.
Bringing people to your wedding, and for you, that's enough achievement.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
I think I should answer.
We don't eat your wedding.
Let me answer Chris.
Okay.
On that issue. Chris, number one, you have to know.
I will come to you in a moment.
As the NRM party, we have mechanisms that we use to bring about policy. And one of those, the institutions, is the Central Executive Committee where I sit.
So
now, wait.
He represents the youth on the sector.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
So when you look at the NRM manifesto 2011-2016, if you have really taken time to look at that, the issue of employment, wealth creation for the young people is played very, very clearly. And I was one of those people that sat on that manifesto committee. And I can assure you, one of the issues that we talked about as a party was the issue of the youth money, the youth level program, the youth fund, all that. Which money was put there? The student loan scheme, which was put there. The secretariat at NADS,
how much have you put for the student loan scheme?
5 billion. It is a starting point. Because we want,
how much money have you spent? How much money has your caucus spent on popularizing the Chankwazi resolution?
I think let me first answer. Let me first answer that question.
Can you give me a quick answer?
Let me first.
You answered part of the question. You said 5 billion.
Charles, you are trying to divert me.
Mr. Namara,
you are trying to divert me. Let me give you the position.
You have provided 5 billion.
Yes.
For the youth scheme. How much money, as a party, have you provided for popularizing the Chankwazi resolution?
The party has not provided money for the student loan scheme. It has not. The
government
has.
I thought you were the party in power.
Don't divert me. Don't divert me, Charles. Let me make my point very clear.
Can you answer the other quick one? How much have you provided?
The other one is for the party. It is for the party.
How much?
There's no question about it. And the party.
How much is it?
That one is for the party.
How much is it?
In the NRM, we don't discuss issues of the party in public. It is internal.
I thought you account to the people watching you, Mr.
Not
Namara.
people in FDC.
The
NRM people in the national conference.
West constituency
I agree.
are watching you on this discussion, and you're telling them, we cannot tell you how much we gave to members of parliament to come and discuss
Charles, are you
what
not
was
aware? You are aware. They gave 4 million. You are not a sub-county. So you count the number of sub-counties. You are 1,400 something. So you count. That is simple mathematics. But let me answer. Don't divert me.
You don't want to give a figure.
Let me give you the position.
You don't want to give a figure because the youth who elected you are going to come up against you and say, how can you spend 6 billion to popularize a resolution and only provide 5 billion for the loan scheme?
But there should differentiate between NRM and the government.
Yes.
This is the government money. This is the NRM money.
Did you just tell our viewers? Did you, Mr. Namara, just tell our viewers?
I want to answer Chris's question.
Mr. Namara,
I want to answer Chris's question.
When you went to State House as youth leaders of NRM,
no, I want to answer your question.
Was State House NRM house?
I want to answer Chris's question because you are trying to divert me. I can see. You asked me a question and I should answer you. I told you when we are in the NRM, we have mechanisms of how we direct policy. And one of them is in SEC level. That's number one. Because we have the National Executive Committee, we have the SEC of the Youth, which takes the policy at SEC of the party. So I have told you, we put money, in the budget, and that money was provided. We put money for NADS.
So when do you become
when
do you become we, and then when do you become that is an NRM project, this is not an NRM project?
No, I'm telling you, we as
Because
NRM, we put it,
those two.
we put it in the policy document of the NRM, which is supposed
So
to be
in
transformed into the national, that is the state.
So you can.
So
you're comfortable
to answer
answering.
Charles very clearly, to answer
Chris.
his question, you cannot say that we have not provided solutions. We have put money, though the money may have been mismanaged by some of you who manage this government, because I'm not in the government as a chairman of the NRM.
I thought
as a chairman of
you are
NRM,
a presidential advisor.
absolutely, but I'm not there
Does
as a
that-
chairman. I'm not there as a chairman of NRM.
So who
we put
mismanages?
the money there, and I can assure you, some young people have received money. We have even added more money into that.
You as who?
256 billion.
We mean
We have
who?
directed, we as NRM,
Namara.
we have directed government policy to
Okay.
add more money.
What are your
So
reasons?
really, we have done that.
No,
We
no,
can
no,
only
no,
critique.
This is a very powerful man. What are your reasons for preparing Museveni against Mbabazi? Have
Well,
you given us?
I think that one is very self-explanatory. If
Why don't you want Mbabazi?
I do not agree with you when you say what are your reasons for preparing Museveni against Mbabazi.
Yes.
Because there's nothing like Museveni against Mbabazi. So I cannot answer in vacuum.
But Omodo is saying there's
That
something
is-
about Mbabazi.
That is Omodo.
Yes,
I'm not
and he's an
Omodo.
NRM youth.
I
Isn't
agree. You see.
Okay, let's have Chitata come in.
I wanted to correct
Chris.
Chris's misstatements, to say the least. Chris is living in a virtual world of people in the opposition who have lost hope that they can actually dislodge the NRM and Museveni from power. Now, they have resorted to prayers to God, to actually pray to God that one day NRM splits into two. And the only available, most prayed for option is wish that possibly Honorable Amma Mbabazi stands against against the President Museveni. Actually, that wish may not be answered by God in the near future.
Kitata,
Chris, hold on, we gave you
The
time.
question is,
A moment.
nobody
we
is
gave you time.
wishing. Can you give us reasons why you have chosen to support Museveni for candidature against Mbabazi?
You have chosen
Is that
to say,
wishing to divide?
You have chosen to say that
What is the
you're wishing-
reason?
You're wishing for a policy difference between Right Honorable Mbabazi
And Museveni.
and President Yoweri Museveni. But today the policy positions of the two are the same.
So do you have insane youth in NRM who are running around that want Mbabazi?
We understand the fact.
Are you
that
lacking
we
the
under-
capacity
we
to
under-
know that the policy is the same?
We understand the fact that you have lost patience. You feel there should be change. But change shouldn't come because people need change.
Stop politicking.
Change
Use-
should be
use-
for the
use-
better.
Gentlemen,
No, no.
Ibrahim, can I cut in
this
here?
is not politicking.
Chris, can I cut
Use
in
your
for a
head
moment?
to explain phenomena in this country. Charles,
Secondly,
these are future leaders.
Secondly.
Ibrahim, listen.
Secondly, Charles,
I have raised
we
issues
listen
here.
to you.
Listen,
Secondly,
I've raised
Charles,
issues here.
Just a moment, let me submit.
Luengo, perennially, whenever there is a drought, cattle will die. The youth miss. Can you advance policy positions as an NRM youth that we have been in power for 28 years,
this is
but
what-
Luengo is still a repository of poverty?
This is what we are heading
Can
to.
Go
you
ahead.
explain
Go
those?
ahead and explain.
Actually, you cut me short. Chris, you must know that NRM as a party has put in place systems through which our grievances and issues come up. Leaving alone the structures of the NRM, as a party in government, he has put in place a National Youth Council that is very vibrant. And it's through that we use, we submit our views, and they are attended to by the government in power.
So why do you have different advising the president
I
of
wa-
youth
I-
when
I-
the national council?
I want to give you one. I want to give
Why
you.
are you advising the president?
Let me add. We
Okay,
had
different.
a moment.
Okay, I agree.
As Finance Secretary of the National Youth Council, we had a very big National Youth Council meeting, which started shortly before the National Youth Day celebrations. And we debated, we passed resolutions, and one of them was the government should switch the money which was being spent on the youth fund, because my youth of Luengo were not getting this money from the banks, because the former youth fund, people wanted titles, people wanted you to have gone to school, and this is the privilege of a few,
Okay.
me and others.
Gentlemen, I'm afraid we're going to cut this short, and I'll pick it up from you, Chiwanuka, when we come out of a short break. We'll be right back.